And thank you for joining us once again on the D-Star01 channel to another episode of Figuratively Speaking, where it seems like we haven't gotten rid of our Wookiee problem. And we're back here today for the D-Star01 channel, Figuratively Speaking, for part 2 of the episode. Whoa! Looks like we got a Sith Lord and a Wookiee again. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? I just can't seem to get rid of these people. But anyway, no, we're here today with two very special guests. We got Ron Hunt!
Oh, my nose.
Yes, and then we got Nathan Peterson! These two are my friends who love Star Wars. Whenever I have something Star Wars related, I always go to them and we always have a Star Wars discussion. So the new one to the Knights of Ren Roundtable, we have Nathan Peterson. So let's talk about you. What did you think of episode 7?
Well, I thoroughly liked episode 7. Obviously, like everybody says, there's homage to the old movies, but what do you expect? You are rebooting / starting everything over 30 years later, but I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait to see the next one.
Okay, cool. So, have you watched that last episode of Figuratively Speaking with Ron and I? What did you think? Well, let's do a quick recap with Ron. Ron, you've had some time to think about this reincarnation thing. Do you still think it is garbage?
To placate our Hispanic viewers here, basura.
Basura. Whoa.
Complete and total garbage.
Wow.
I've spent more time thinking about this than I ought to have.
Okay. All right. So
I'm not sure where Nathan is on this one, but I'm not feeling it.
No.
I'm still not feeling it.
No.
Just like you said, reincarnation belongs in Airbender, not in Star Wars.
There you go.
You know, last time when I first read this in the supposed leaked script, I actually thought it was a good idea until my wife told me that it was kind of a ripoff of Airbender, and then it just went, oh my gosh, this is terrible. So I am starting to be on the same page as you guys. I'm not liking it one bit. So that's why we're here today. We're gonna go over this, but before we do, I was talking to Nathan before Ron got here, and tell us what we were talking. We were talking about how the death of Han Solo actually makes sense.
Sad Wookiee roar.
It makes sense. I'm starting to cry because now it's starting to make sense. Yes. Nathan, take us away. How does it make sense? Talk to us.
Well, the main way I found that it makes sense is that online there was a fan theory posted called Han Solo Shot First Again. And so in Han Solo Shot First Again, it explains that it's not necessarily Kylo Ren killing his father. It's that Han Solo realizes and understands that in order to possibly bring his son back to the light side and to prevent him from being possibly killed by Snoke for not completing his training towards the dark side, that he had to die. We all knew as soon as he walked out on that platform, and we all knew that it was coming because of all the leaked information and rumors. I figured it would happen. It was supposed to happen in Return of the Jedi. They didn't make it happen, so give the man what he wants. Give him his glorious death in the movies. And so the fan theory goes that when he reaches out with the lightsaber, Han Solo is the one that turns it to his chest, ignites it, and lets himself be killed by his son in order to try to bring him back to the light side.
Wow, that's deep. That is deep. Ron, have you heard of this theory before?
I've heard that theory before, but I subscribe to a much better theory.
Okay, all right.
That one is
Tell
that
us.
In her infinite greed that she's no longer a princess, that Leia was attempting to take Solo for everything that he has smuggled over the years, and that was a horrible divorce. And so he figured the only way out was at the bottom of that pit.
Wow.
Remember, folks, divorce is caused 100% by marriage. Happily married, though. Love you. I'm in trouble when I get home.
Well, I think all three of us are very happily married. But So you have heard this theory. back on subject. You have heard this theory, right?
I have heard the theory
Do you
that...
not like it at all? Do you
I
just go,
believe-
no, I hate this theory. This theory sucks.
I believe it's a valid theory that in order to just to reawaken the conscience of his of Ben, that he needed something drastic to happen. And you could see that the boy wanted his father still.
Right.
He was looking towards him for some help. And yeah, I could see him pointing it and pulling the trigger himself to try to push him in the right direction. But at the same time, I want to say it was a more detrimental move.
Okay.
So
Okay. All right. So let's move on. Let's go. Let's finish this off. Let's finish off where we ended in the first part of this show. So now we're going to continue. Let's do a quick recap. Number 1, Echoes of the Dark Side is going to be the name of episode 8. We do know the reincarnation of Anakin Skywalker is now in Rey. And last but not least, I don't think we talked about this last episode, Ron. I think we talked about how Luke will be going with Rey. Did we talk about that? I think we did.
I want to say behind the scenes, after the initial video was over with, we did talk about it. Some other key points that we would have liked to talk about.
My favorite key point was the message you wanted for George Lucas. Did he ever get back to you on that one?
You are dodging me, man.
Why are you dodging my boy, George?
It's not cool.
That's not cool.
No.
We all want to know the answer to this about Chewbacca's between the legs. But anyway, we digress again. So
Comment on what you guys think. Discussion.
Yes, discussion. Anyway, so here we go. We do know that something calls upon Rey to leave Jedi training with Luke, and that Poe and Finn are in trouble. So this seems a lot like Return of the Jedi. Or no, not Return, sorry, Empire Strikes Back, where Luke goes off to save his friends, Yoda kind of stays. But now in this movie, we have Luke going with Rey. Now we're going to get this awesome fight. What Ron wanted. He wanted this awesome fight. We wanted to see Master Luke just kick butt.
Like what Nathan was mentioning there, that we're seeing a lot of homage to the prior films.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, that's why we're going to see something very similar in this one. But at the same time, you got a lot of, it's the same movie. So I can see why they're trying to throw a little curveball in there by having Grandmaster Luke accompany Rey versus, bad idea this is.
So Nathan, what did you think of this? Do you want this to happen? As a Star Wars fan, it was like, yes, this seems pretty awesome.
I do want it to happen. The main reason I do is that I don't know if Rey's going to tell him or if he's going to find out later on when he confronts Kylo about Han Solo.
Ooh, good point.
And that'll be interesting.
Point. Very good point.
Because Han Solo is not only a best friend, he's practically a brother.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that's his nephew, and how could you kill your father? Even Luke couldn't kill his own father. So it'll be interesting to see how Luke views Kylo, if he sees him as more of a Sith than his father, because his father was willing to help save him, or if he still believes that he can bring him back from under the control of Snoke.
Yes, we definitely need to see where that's going to go. So let's go deeper into the script. Ooh. Going deeper into the script. So now we're kind of away from the Jedi-ness of this episode. Now we're going to get into more of the political side. So let's talk about Lord Vikram, played by Benicio del Toro. So I'm just going to read a little bit out here. He is the dictator of the Republic. Everyone's in a shamble after this Starkiller base has destroyed everything, and then we have the First Order. They're kind of all over the place too. Everyone's all out of order. So Vikram and Leia, they actually are butting heads in this movie. It's like, Leia's like, we should attack now! And Vikram's like, no, we need to gather all our forces. So Leia's like, this seems weird. This is our chance to attack. So in comes a new character. Her name is Shalin, played by Kelly Marie Tran, who gets in contact with Leia and says, hey, we can find something out about Lord Vikram. So Vikram looks like, in this movie, to be the secret bad guy. Could be. We don't know. We just don't know. He could be. So what happens is, according to this script, Okay? So she meets up with Finn and Poe. So this is Finn and Poe, Shala, and then we got a little love story, maybe soft as sand. Okay, soft as sand, maybe. We might see that between Shala and
sand is coarse and rough.
Oh.
Because of his love for Poe.
Maybe. Whoa! How did you know? How did you know that the Finn and Poe? Oh my goodness!
The bromance is strong.
It's so very strong.
In the first movie, it was almost hand-holding strong.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll give him a little Wookiee nipple pinchy.
Oh my gosh. Well, if that happens, we'll be like, wow, this happened. Right here, right now, on this episode, we got it. We told you what really happens in episode 8. Okay, so here's what happens. So we have Leia sending these 3 to find out if Vikram's a bad guy. And yes, we do actually find out that he's a bad guy and that he was in contact with the First Order. So Leia has him basically captured. Now we have Leia just in control of the Republic, and now she has to lead. And this planet that they're all on has a shield, which pretty much covers them from being attacked. And she gives the codes to Finn. So everything seems good. Bad guy in jail. Wrong. We have a betrayal. As usual, we need that twist. Shala pulls the gun on Finn, gets the codes, and guess who comes out of the shadows? Oh yeah.
Action figure?
Yes, action figure comes in, he's like, hey, I may be smaller, but I'm here to rule the Empire, yeah. So no, Kylo Ren comes in.
Worth a try.
Yeah, it was worth a try. If that's stolen, then that's my idea. So he comes in and pretty much says, hey, I was behind this all. Now he captures Finn and Poe, and boom, ends movie. We have Luke and Rey coming to the rescue. So we get a cliffhanger.
So what you're saying is that we're gonna get another here's your lightsaber, no one says anything. Or are we at least going to see and hear a saber ignite and just I don't know.
So you're saying what you think is going to happen is we might have a nothing fight?
I'm concerned this is going to be a nothing fight.
Nothing? Well, don't you think the fight should continue on to episode 9? I think that would be a great way to start episode 9.
I think, and I'm going off what we said last time, that we're getting a Dragon Ball Z feel out of this one. I think we're going to see rocks coming off the ground and the rumbling that we're getting ready to fight. You know, everyone like, oh, I'm gonna reach for it. I'm gonna turn it on, and then credits. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen.
Okay, Nathan.
It seems incomplete for what the script is, and to me, it still leaves a lot to be desired. And either it's gonna make episode 9 a really long movie, trying to explain Snoke, Knights of Ren.
Right, we haven't even gone. This has nothing really to do with the Knights of Ren. Maybe a little bit in the beginning, but that's about it.
Yeah, but I mean, and I don't know, there's so many extra details that were in the first movie, and it seems like with what's leaked of this script so far that there's still a lot more that they're trying to keep secret, but obviously, just like with episode 7, further down the road, more will be revealed. But I think, honestly, Luke's just going with her to make sure she doesn't lose a limb like everybody else does.
So you'd be okay with this cliffhanger? So let's say this is real. This is the real deal. Let's say this actually happens. You're sitting there and you're like, oh wow, it's exactly like the day when I was on the D-Star 01 channel. Like, how do you feel about that? Would you hate that? Do you think that cliffhangers are terrible for this kind of film? Because in all honesty, I don't like it.
I don't like it either. There's not enough Star Wars action. They gave us in the first one the good fight scenes. They gave us a good lightsaber battle. And then the first one is going to be all, and then the second one's going to be all political and a bunch of mystery and hoopla. And then they're going to wait till the last one to have, 3 or 4 lightsaber scenes?
Yeah.
I mean, people want lightsaber fights. People love
agree.
lightsabers, Star Wars. I mean, saying you're going to have a Star Wars movie without a lightsaber fight is just wrong. I mean, leave that to Rogue One. This is episode 7. Right. We got cross guards, crazy ladies with beating sticks and lightsabers. we just gotta keep the rumble going.
Right.
If she can, and if she finds out Kylo Ren has captured her best friend Finn, do you think she's not gonna come out with lightsabers of?
Good point.
Yeah.
I'm concerned that there's not going to be enough time to stick with the original trilogy style that the Star Wars movies were done in. That this one will potentially be rushed, or it'll be too drawn out. At which point, then we get Episode 9, which will turn into Batman and Superman, and they're gonna cram a whole bunch of silly garbage in there to try and have it make sense just to fit within their usual trilogy set.
Okay.
So it'd be like Iron Man 2 of Star Wars.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah,
very much so. Minus the whiplash.
Well, you never know. Lightsaber whips are available in the Old Republic.
Yeah,
so.
you're right.
There is?
Yes.
There's so many different variants out there.
There's
But that's
like
another
lightsaber-
episode.
I guess
Yes.
that's another. We're gonna talk more about different variants of lightsabers. Anyway, I think we're all on the same page here that this movie should not end with a cliffhanger.
No.
We need Master Luke just kicking butt. It needs to happen, and I think this is a little bit garbage, just a tad. I like that this is fun to read, but it needs work, obviously. So let's see what happens in next year.
My concern is that we're reading not guaranteed 100%
Right.
spoilers from the script. That it's not all guaranteed. That, you know what? Nathan could have typed this stuff up all by himself and then somehow got it to you.
Hey.
I would make a way better fake script than that.
Okay.
It could just be
alright.
an amalgamation of horrible ideas.
Yeah.
Just to throw people off. Talk people out of continuing to watch the series because of the people who want the original expanded universe. There's a lot of people who are still fighting for the expanded universe, the original universe with
Right.
Thrawn and the
Jason and Jaina Solo.
yeah.
Lady Sith.
There's so many great stories that are out there, and the people who want the original EU there are. I'm accusing them directly right now of misinformation. It's entirely possible.
It is.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's wrap this up. Any last thoughts before we end today?
I do not want to wear this mask anymore.
Sorry, Chewbacca.
Chewbacca Mom, you have a tiny head.
Yes.
A tiny head.
Nathan, any last words?
Chewbacca Mom, lay off the caffeine pills.
Oof. Harsh.
And
got a
please,
tiny
for the love of God, Disney, do not try to use anything from that script. If you try to reincarnate Anakin Skywalker, everybody will riot.
Oof.
I can see people getting up and walking out.
Yep.
The Disneyland castle will look like Alderaan.
All right, let's end it at that. All right, thank you for watching the D-Star01 channel here for Figuratively Speaking. I'm your host, Dexter Arafiles, Ron Hunt, Nathan Peterson, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey, you. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Where? Right here. Not there, right here. You. And thanks for watching. So, rate, comment, and subscribe. Right here, right there, right here. Yeah.
Okay, so I noticed you threw away the leaked script there.
I did.
You know, and
Throw it away. Gone.
I see George Lucas still hasn't answered my prior question, so I'm gonna have him with. I'm gonna give him another one there,
Okay.
and it would be, what do Gungans use to keep their preserves in?
Wait. I think I can answer that. Okay, yeah, I don't know.
Nathan, you got an idea there?
Nope.
In a jar jar.